Well, hello and welcome to Restore 2022. Greetings from Albania. As you can see, I'm in a different setting. I've got an olive tree behind me, and today in our Restore 2022, we have arrived at the Gospel of John, chapter 3. Chapter 2 ends with John's statement that Jesus knew all people. Whether this has to do with Jesus knowing the nature of humanity, or being more specific, knowing the hearts of all people, the following chapters will demonstrate that both statements are valid. John now presents evidence that Jesus knew people as no other did, that many may believe in his name. And this constitutes further that he is the Son of God. John summarizes several conversations that Jesus had with various individuals in the next few chapters. They were remarkably different people, and yet they responded to Jesus positively. Because of what's been going on in Jerusalem, with Jesus being there, miracles, cleaning the tables in the temple. Now Nicodemus, one of the Pharisees, comes and meets him at night, whether to be secretive or uninterrupted. As you can hear today, there's lots of noises in the background, and the reason why I've chosen to do this recording outside is that as we hear of those noises in the background, we're reminded of perhaps noises like Nicodemus was trying to prevent himself and interruptions so he could have this conversation with Jesus. But how can Nicodemus be a teacher of Israel and yet not know all these things? It's like blind leading the blind. And what Jesus shared with him is not just sophisticated doctrine, but these are the beginnings of knowing the new way of God's unfolding his kingdom, and they're not out of reach for anybody. Actually, these truths have been understood and accepted by others with far less theological training and upbringing than Nicodemus. And Nicodemus' response to Jesus' question has really got an earthly sense. How can somebody be born again who is physically mature start all over again with his mother's womb? And if this is true physically, then how much more difficult is it to start over in the moral or spiritual realm? This new birth is not an intensified continuation of the old ways. It's not a deeper interpretation of the law. It's not a bigger effort to obey the Levitical code. No, it's a new beginning, and it's starting over again. This is the new life that God has given to us, a breaking of his new grace, a supernatural act of bringing forth new creation. And this new life comes with an invitation to respond. For Nicodemus, for John the Baptist's disciples, for whosoever, to address this conflict between belief and unbelief, to embrace this life that is sourced in God's love by believing in Jesus, or to carry on insisting about not needing God's life, which John, the writer of the Gospel of John, describes as the ones who are loving the darkness. Later on in chapter 3, he moves us to this great character, John the Baptist, who's figured this out and is mature and sensitive. My neighbor's dog. John the Baptist is a true man of God. He has announced and prepared the way and helped Jesus picture here as the bridegroom. I've been thinking this morning as John the Baptist being Jesus' best man. He made sure that Jesus becomes now at the center more and more. He becomes on the stage more and more. The glory of God will be revealed through his mighty works. John the Baptist belongs to the old ways that will pass away, but now he has embraced this new way, who is Jesus, the bridegroom, with his new way of life, and which will grow and flourish. And that's why John the Baptist is able to say, he must increase and I must decrease. So as we think of these characters today, of John the Baptist and of course Nicodemus, the question that I've got is, how are we using our spiritual heritage and understanding today? Is that spiritual understanding and heritage being a catalyst to bring us closer to Christ? Is this making us a closer friend to him? Is this bringing us to that place that we say, he must increase and I must decrease? God bless you and have a good day.